The ASDB logo appears. Behind it is the video of a school from a drone. 3 blind students wearing costumes sit next to a tree.
Have you ever ran a mile on ASDB's track? Well, imagine doing that 1,100 more times.
A map of the Anza Expedition appears. It turns into a video of a tactile map.
White Cane Day has been related to the Anza Expedition of 1775.
A woman shows the kids a map with a magnifying glass.
This is a great opportunity for ASDB to get to know people too. I'm excited to find out more about the Anza Trail.
The title appears over a photo of a sunset with saguaro. Anza Trail, learning together through history. A man appears on the screen in a gray robe and black hat. Words appear next to him, Ronald Quinn, Anza Society International.
I'm a member and have been for a long time of the Anza Society International. And the goal of that society is to
Students gather around him as he uses an old-fashioned spoon.
inform and educate and interest people in the life and times of a Spanish military man named Juan Bautista de Anza, who passed right through this area immediately adjacent to this school.
The previous images showed the students' interactions with the Anza Society volunteers. The next speaker is Laura Boyle. She's the landscape architect for the park. She's wearing her tan hat, gray button-down shirt with a golden badge.
This project is a really good opportunity for the neighbors and the community to learn with and from ASDB.
The next speaker is Ann Remp, the mobility instructor at ASDB.
Our students don't always have access to information that's posted in parks and museums and public spaces the same way that their sighted or hearing peers do. I feel that when information is made accessible to people with hearing loss or vision loss or in wheelchairs, I really feel like you're making it accessible to everyone.
The footage under Ann talking shows students learning how to write their names in Braille. They show the camera their Braille names. The last video shows students interacting with another National Parks ranger while he shows them his badge. Laura speaks again.
It's going to be a really neat place. It's going to be about 1/8 of a mile of new trail and Braille cable all along the way. A person can walk along and interact with sculptures and sound boxes that have stories in them.
The images under Laura talking are concept drawings and photos of the new park.
There's going to be lots of tactile, hands-on sculptures and things to touch, and even the plants that are going to be planted along the way are going to help tell the story of the Anza Expedition.
There was a clip of students painting tiles. Now we see them using binoculars. Yasmi Martinez, an ASB student, speaks.
You'll just have to follow the cable. I've done it before and it helped a lot for me. Some of us visually impaired kids have a hard time knowing where things are and knowing where places are, so it'll help everyone with difficult visual impairments figure out the park a little more.
Previous footage shows ASB students trying out the various stations from the White Cane Day. Ronald speaks again.
The part of it that involves ASDB is that it would be just matter of fact and incorporated in the planning and curriculum and activities of ASDB, that they'd be using that all the time. That might even not be central to learning more about Anza, but learning more about native plants or watching birds.
The previous footage shows students interacting with a donkey, feeling the round biscuits, and watching birds with binoculars. Ann speaks again.
You can bring your grandparents to this space, you can bring children to this space, you can bring people who are in walkers and wheelchairs to this space. And it's going to be interactive for our whole school and our community to enjoy.
Previous footage shows a student in a wheelchair enjoying the stations from White Cane Day and students playing ring toss in the grass. Laura speaks again.
Probably my favorite part of this project was when we had a high school internship program. We had Ironwood Tree experience, hire a bunch of high school interns from all over Tucson, a lot of them from Barrio Hollywood neighborhood and from ASDB. And they got to work together for 10 weeks and think about the story of the Anza Expedition and how to make that story accessible. These were kids, 16, 18 working together, and they got to design what would be really neat hands-on sculptural elements and other storytelling elements to go out here.
Previous footage shows how ASB students and students from another school got together to brainstorm and create sculptures for the new park. The students walked from ASDB to the park area together with their canes. Ann speaks again.
This park is really going to serve as a model of how these other spaces can create a space and design a space that will be accessible to both blind and deaf communities.
Previous images are more concept art images featuring the park and park patrons. Ronald speaks again.
Just the knowledge that people like my granddaughter who come here we'll have one more place that's not quite here, but it's right next door, that expands their world. That's what I'm looking for.
Previous footage shows students looking at birds with excitement, an overhead drone shot of ASDB in the park next door, students trying to eat round biscuits. The next video shows Letty, an interpreter, explaining to Ronald's granddaughter in ASL about the park and her role. Your grandfather helped build this. A new place for you. Yes, okay. Ronald speaks again.
We can make their world larger in time and in space, and in enriching the things that occupy time and space. We can do that. I know we can do that, and this will help do that.
The last two clips show an ASD student using a rope to catch a fake cow. The 3 students and 2 teachers walk away from the camera next to a school fence at the park. The ASDB logo appears over a blue background. The text under the logo reads, "See what's happening at ASDB by visiting asdb.az.gov/asdb-videos." Located in Tucson, Arizona, the outdoor Anza Expedition is the result of support from many partners, including Anza Society International, National Park Service, Juan Bautista de Anza National Historic Trail, Arizona Schools for the Deaf and Blind, Pima County, National Park Service Rivers, Trails, and Conservation Assistance Program, Barrio Hollywood Neighborhood Association, University of Arizona School of Landscape and Architecture, Ironwood Tree Experience, and Anza Trail Foundation.